Yo YouTube, Cobalion, and today I'm here with a completely different video. I'm here with a top 10. Yes, I know I don't want to be a top 10 channel, but I feel like I had to make this because a lot of people have been asking my opinion on it. So I'm here with my top 10 favorite ROM hacks slash fan-made games of the Pokemon genre. This will be based solely on my opinion, so if you disagree and you for example think that Pokemon Rainbow should be a number one, well, complete respect to you guys, but that's not my opinion. So without further ado, let's go just hop in number 10. And also I want to point out, I'm not gonna show a lot of footage. I don't think I'm gonna show any footage, maybe a thumbnail here and there, but just because of the fact that I don't want to spoil it for you guys, because, well, I don't like to be spoiled, so I guess you don't. But without further ado, like I said, let's get into number 10, which is Pokemon Insurgents. And Insurgents is, well, it's kind of a unique game. I feel like its premise is basically that a lot of clans are fighting each other, like societies with different, like cults. Cults is a good word. A lot of cults have been fighting versus each other, and that's basically the entire premise of it. And it's kind of a good game, I feel like, but the thing that it sets it back, in my opinion, is that a lot of crazy shit goes down. And a lot of people know from my perspective that I don't like games that go completely over the top, like go Super Saiyan number 6 or something like that, if you follow Dragon Ball Z. But I feel like Insurgent kinda does that. There are like mega evolutions, extra mega evolutions, like legend spam pretty much in the entire game. A lot of crazy moves, crazy things happening, people dying, stuff like that. That kinda sets it back, in my opinion. Speaking of megas, there are a lot of new megas in the game, and except for like one mega or two, I pretty much hate them all. And, well, you might say like, oh, but how can you hate them? Well, I don't like their design. Sorry, I like the fact that you're giving specific Pokemon mega evolutions, but I just don't like these designs. So yeah, sorry. I know a lot of people have been working on it, but I don't like the designs of them. I do like the fact that, like, in the start of the game, you can get a very rare Pokemon via a sort of detour, where like missions and stuff. You can get rare Pokemon. You can get Delta Pokemon, which are rare Pokemon as well, and Delta Pokemon are okay, I guess. It's basically Alolan forms, but in Insurgents. So, my opinion, it's a pretty nice game. I mean, it looks pretty nice, but like I said, it does go a little bit over the top at times, which sets it back, in my opinion. So let's get into number 9, which is going to be Snakewood. Pokemon Snakewood is a game that's basically The Walking Dead and Pokemon in one game, and that pretty much says enough. It's just basically Pokemon in a zombie apocalypse with a lot of crazy stuff happening. Just, I have no idea how to explain it in tiny words, but basically you end up in a game, you don't know who you are, what your character is doing, and you eventually meet zombies while you regain your memory. I mean, the story is pretty nice, but the thing that, I mean, there's a cute feeling about it. Unlike the fact that it's actually a zombie game, there's a lot of humor in it, but I feel like it's so out of place. I mean, the jokes that are put in the game are put in the game at the wrong time, or just stretched out so much, overused, which doesn't give it that funny feeling, in my opinion. Like, there are a lot of returning characters, like pirates or something like that, and they keep appearing and eventually it's not funny anymore. They're supposed to be funny, but they aren't. There are some fakemons in there as well, which, I mean, the fakemons are crazy as shit. But the thing that I do like about the story, just the game, is the story. The story is so complex and there's so much content, I feel like. And there might be like crazy side missions and a lot of crazy puzzles you gotta solve, but in the end it's a pretty solid game, I do feel like. I don't have a lot of more to say about it, but let's get into number 8, which is going to be Light Platinum. And I know a lot of people like Light Platinum. And when I say like, a lot of people love Light Platinum, and I kinda agree. I must agree, it's a pretty decent game, but I don't know. It feels, again, if they cut it out, because you have 2 regions in Light Platinum. The first region, of course, and the second. I feel like story-wise, the game wasn't ready in the first region, but the fact is that you have to face more gym leaders in the second region. Another Elite 4 with another crazy side members, and the thing is, if they cut those gyms out, if they cut Elite 4 out and just slowly, if they paced the story better, I feel like it would have been so much better. The game would be so much better, but now I just feel like you're beating on a dead horse in the second region, which isn't well, it isn't nice. It sounds pretty bad, and I mean it feels pretty bad, but it's still a pretty solid game. Again, if they just kept it at the first half of like gyms and paced just pace the story a little bit better, I feel like it would have been a better game. But that's just me talking. But at number 7 we have Blaze Black and Volt White, and Blaze Black and Volt White 2. Why am I putting these 2 at the same spot? Well, they're basically Black and White 2. And I can't compare the 2 because I love both of them. But Blaze Black and Volt White are interesting games. They're made of a guy named Triano, which will appear later on this list. But I don't know what he did with Black and White, but it's so good. I mean, I nearly put Light Platinum over this. It's a close one, and basically because of the same reason of Insurgents and Snakewood, there sometimes it just go over the top, because not story-wise it hasn't changed a lot, but I mean the levels increase so much, just rapidly. The trainers are so much tougher. You get a lot of new Pokemon. You're not new Pokemon, but Pokemon from other regions than Unova. You get which is nice. I mean, you can get a lot of more diversity in the games, which is pretty nice. But like after the first gym, you get like amazing TMs. Just the opponent just every trainer can end the Nuzlocke basically, and that it feels like every time they're going over the top. And like Black and White 2 is probably my favorite game out of all the games. But when I fought in the White Forest or Black City with like the grandson of Elder Benji or something like that, that fight was epic. It was so difficult, and the fight after with like the Game Freak holder was so just difficult to beat. But now they just made it impossible. It is just, you have to have your monster level 100, and I don't like the fact. But other than that, it's still a great story because it's the same story, and it's still pretty cool that you can get a lot of diversity in the game. So I mean, that's great. But again, it's a little bit over the top for me. Next, at number 6, I didn't actually want to put this on the list because of the fact that it's not finished. But I felt like I couldn't leave this off the list. Eternal Gates is just... it's so good. It looks so good for a game. If you don't know what Eternal Gates is, it was like the most hyped game ever when it came out. Fakemons that looked so good, and I can't stress enough how good those Fakemons looked, how good the game looked, and it felt... I really was disappointed to find out it only got up to the second gym, because they haven't finished it yet. And I was so upset when I found that out. And it felt so disappointing. And if this just game was finished, I'm sure it would have been a number one. Just nice and number one. But it's not finished, and I have to judge it on what is there and not what is gonna be there. So I'm putting this at number 6. At number 5, however, is gonna be such a funny game. It's gonna be Steve the Bibarel, and if you don't know what Steve the Bibarel is, it's the best game ever in mankind. Just Steve the Bibarel is a lot different from all the other Pokemon games. It's like a spin-off. It feels like Mystery Dungeon, but it's such a quirky game with a lot of humor, and the storyline is so cute. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it's actually 1 hour long. I don't know how slow you play as a player, but I finished this in 40 minutes. 40 minutes, that's nothing. And you might think, whoa, it's not finished. Well, it is finished, and that's the weird part. But to me, it didn't feel complete, and that's holding it back. That's putting it on number 5. If they're gonna make a second part to it, or just it's not gonna be an update. It's gonna be second part. If they make that second part, I'm putting this higher because it's such a quirky, fun little game, and it's so uplifting, and it does feel really nice. I'm not gonna tell what the story is about because I might spoil it, but it's it's so funny. You should play it. You should definitely play it, or just watch a let's play of it. I mean, either way. But Steve the Bibarel, definitely a game you should play. And I'm going into number 4, which is a game I recently played. I mean, it's a game I played most recently, and what came out the most recently, because of the fact that this game, they've been making this game for 9 years, and that's Pokemon Uranium. And I gotta say, it's a really enjoyable game. It's another game about Fakemons with a really interesting story, which I really like. And the Fakemons, I mean, it's crazy. It's actually crazy how good this game is. But something is putting it back, and that's because of the fact that I feel that this game is really slow paced. It's really slow paced, and the actual emulator that comes on, because it doesn't go with the SMUMA. No, it goes for its own emulator, which is so extremely laggy that I'm actually ripping my own hairs out. It's such a bad emulator. That's putting it back for me because I wanted to play it, and every time I wanted to play it, I realized, shoot, this is gonna take like an hour to finish this grass, just because of the fact that if you run around in the grass, you get frustrated. Which sucks, because it really is a good game. I mean, the starters, they all look amazing. They actually do. I'm not gonna show pictures because of the fact that they have like a mystery dungeony pick system. I mean, it's sort of suggested what starters you're gonna get, but you have to pick it based on your personality, which is really nice. But all 3 starters just look amazing in my opinion. I mean, there's one starter that's special, which is the worst one, but what is putting those starters back in my opinion? Well, they aren't offensive at all. The best offensive stat of all the starters combined is 95, which is so stupid. But the good news is Mega Evolution is in this game and they all have Mega Evolutions, and the worst stat after Mega Evolving offensively is one of 135, which is crazy. And that's the thing I don't like. The starters only evolve once and get a Mega after that, which is crazy to think about, and I don't actually like that. But for the rest, this game is amazing. A lot of like amazing design wise, just fakemons, and I mean, it shows that they've been putting in work for like 9 years. But like I said, they really should fix that lag they have. But for the rest, it's an amazing game, and I do suggest you play it, and at least show some respect for a game that's actually been in the making for 9 years. Now we are entering the top 3, which game will go home with a bronze medal, which was a silver, and which with a gold. Well, I'm gonna reveal the bronze medal right away, and like a lot of people have, I don't think a lot of people will see this coming, but at third place is Ash Gray. And if you don't know what Ash Gray is, this is the Pokemon anime in a game. And it might sound lame, it really might sound lame to you, but I love this game. I actually really enjoy this game. And I mean, a lot of people might like Avengers more, but I'm more of an Ash Gray type of guy. It's just basically you following the footsteps of Ash, and that's the thing I do think a lot of people wanted to do, and you finally get the chance. And it's so enjoyable to play as Ash because a lot of crazy things happen with Ash, and a lot of crazy people he meets, and a lot of crazy Pokemon, and a lot of craziness. But it's so enjoyable to play, even though you know it's gonna happen if you watch the original anime. But it's still just nice to see just on your laptop screen. So Ash Gray, I don't have a lot to say about it. It's just amazing to see the anime in a game. And I will go to the second place, which will be Pokemon Glazed. Yes, Pokemon Glazed, a game that I know not everybody is as big as a fan of. But Glazed is a nice fan-made game with just a normal Pokemon. I believe it has the physical special split, even though it's a 3rd gen game. There are a lot of I believe all 6 gens are in the game. A few Talismans, because this was made when Kalos was being revealed. So a few Talismans, a lot of like Gen 5 and under, which it was really enjoyable to use every kind of Pokemon for every kind of region. A lot of just diversity in the game. The thing that I do complain about is this was a pretty easy game. The first gym and the second gym were they were actually pretty difficult to beat. You have to be really prepared, you have to train really hard to beat them. But after that point, it was so easy. It was just a cakewalk. I didn't have to grind or anything. It was so easy. But again, it was a pretty solid game. I do suggest you guys check it out. It's I mean, the story could be better, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. But it's time to reveal that number 1 everybody is waiting on: Sacred Gold and Storm Silver. And this game, it's not even the best ROM hack in my opinion. It might just be the best game in general from Pokemon. And I don't think a lot of people will agree. But I really like this game. Just because of the fact that this is just Sacred Gold and Storm. It's actually Hard Gold, Soul Silver, but better. Fan-made, everything is fixed. Everything is so much better. I mean, they were, I think, with Black and White 2 my favorite games, but this was such an enjoyable game. It's such the difficulty of the game is unbelievable. It's so hard to beat. A lot of diversity in the game with the Pokemon as well. Every gym leader actually has 6 Pokemon, which is pretty difficult if you are starting out and you don't have a good matchup. But it's so enjoyable, even though you know the story. But the story is kind of tweaked a bit. It makes it more difficult. For example, you can beat Giovanni in this game. Spoilers. But it is really enjoyable. A lot of mons are fixed in a way that, like, new moves, better stats, better typings, easier evolution methods, stuff like that, and it makes it just more enjoyable, I guess. TMs are just better defined, stuff like that, and it just makes a complete immersive experience, which I have been waiting on for like a lot of Pokemon games. A lot of these ROM hacks weren't immersive enough for me, or for my taste, I should say, but this game fixed it all. And that's basically my entire top 10. So to kind of wrap it up, 10 Insurgents, 9 of course Snakewood, 8 Light Platinum, 7 Blaze Black and Volt White and Blaze Black Volt White 2, at number 6 Eternal Gates, at number 5 Steve the Bibarel, at number 4 Uranium, at number 3 Ash Grey, number 2 Glazed, and at number 1 Sacred Gold and Storm Silver. So if you liked this top 10 or if you hated it, just leave a like because I will appreciate it. If you like top 10s, well, sorry for you, but I don't really do top 10s. I do post a lot of Pokemon related content, so if you aren't subscribed yet, you might just want to subscribe. I mean, there's the subscribe button, that nice red button, why not press it? But that's been me, that's the video. Leave your own suggestions or own opinions in the comment section below. I will check it out. It might be nice to hear it from you guys. But like I said, I'm heading out of here, and I hope you have a good day and goodbye. Peace. That actually would be nice.
Oh, that's actually pretty sick if you run that.
Nice. And we can get burned.
We could get an SD, but we could also Gunk Shot for damage.
Yeah, I think Gunk Shot is the best play because there is. Yeah.
Okay, that does nice damage.
Wait, does he have the Ice Beam?
Okay, SD.
Yeah.
Or you protect or something. SD is definitely a good play.
Because
we wall him.
He protects. Okay. Nice.
DK face, can I? Am I allowed to?
Do we drain points right here?
We could also stand up on an SD if we're like. We could like seal the game here, I think.
Yeah, true.
Unless he's sub DD Gyarados.
Okay, he goes into his DD.
Again, bulky Arcanine, which is fine, because +2 Gunk Shot kills.